everybody, it's Lon.TV, and it's time for your weekly wrap-up, and it's our first wrap-up of 2016. Another year on the channel has come and gone, and I think we're now kind of in the third year of me putting in the effort that I've been putting in. I started really putting in a lot of effort in 2013, and we're seeing some really good growth, and in a few minutes I'll give you some stats on the channel and how it's growing, because if you're curious about how to grow your own YouTube channel, this stuff might be interesting to you. I know it is to me because I'm always looking at stats. I also want to thank our newest Patreon supporter, John Casper, who just the other day made a Patreon contribution on a monthly basis to the channel. I also want to thank Emma Jones, who upped her contribution as well. So thank both of you for your contribution to the channel. It will be put to good use, I promise. So this week we did a couple of things. We did a couple of reviews and some opinions and lots of diversity on the channel this week. We first covered the Asus RT AC88U. This is an outstanding new router from Asus. I liked it so much I spent 20 minutes going through all of it because there's so many layers to what it can do. And I actually covered just the new stuff that really kind of stuck out for me on this product. It does a lot more than I could even fit into that 20-minute review. They have two new ones, this one, and they've got this other one that's got like 12 antennas hanging off of it. They actually have the same guts inside. This one costs less and honestly will perform the same for you because none of us have wireless gear that can support what these routers support right now. So we talked about that a little bit in the video too. So definitely check it out. I've got a master playlist linked above and also down below in the description so you can see everything that I am talking about as we're running through the summary here. We also took a look at the Lenovo Y700. This is a 15-inch gaming laptop, and we're starting to see prices on gaming laptops start to decline a little bit. This has got an NVIDIA 960M GTX graphics card on board, Skylake i7 processor. The one they sent me was like a $1,200 version. It was a loaner. I'm not keeping it. And they also have some that cost less than $1,000, like $979 or so. To get in the door with these things. So very reasonably priced, and it actually performs pretty well too. And I haven't really done a dedicated gaming machine review on the channel before, so I'd love to hear your opinion of how I did on that one. I'm trying not to do like, a multitude of different games because I'll never be able to play enough games to satisfy everyone's needs, but I tried to pick a representative sample of things that people are using and then look at some benchmarks too. But it's a very nicely performing machine, and there's one from Dell actually now that's got the same specifications, but it's coming in around $800 or so. So I'm going to try to get that one ordered and give it a shot because I'm very curious to see how it might perform against this one, considering it starts at about $200 less for its entry-level price. So we'll be hopefully getting one of those in soon. I've got another Lenovo gaming machine, a big desktop that's at my office right now. I got to lug it home, so we'll see how that one does against my monster over there. We also had a little editorial section this week. I talked about Kickstarter and how they can do better. I do a lot of Kickstarter contributions because sometimes I hit a real gem that results in traffic on the channel, like my Bluetooth paper airplane thing that we looked at a couple of years ago. So I'm always out there, looking for new things, and every once in a while you get burned. And this month I've just been getting burned a lot. I've lost probably $1,200 or $1,500 just in the last couple of weeks from projects that went kaput both on Kickstarter and on Indiegogo. So I kind of spewed off a little bit, but I stand by what I say because I think they can be doing better for the backer community, especially when they're out promoting things that end up failing, and yet they don't actually share any of the risk that the backers do, and they keep their profits from failed projects too. So I go into more detail in the video, but you can kind of get a feel for what I'm talking about. We also took a look at my top 10 picks of 2015, and what I did with this one, because a lot of people are writing in saying, oh, what about this, what about that? What I did is I looked at everything I reviewed in 2015 and then went through that list to whittle it down to the things that I'm using on a day-to-day basis, and it actually came out very conveniently to 10 items that I reviewed in 2015 that I actually use and really have kind of integrated into my workflow here on the channel and into my life too, for that matter. So it's a really neat list of things, but the reason why some things may not be on the list that I've been spouting off as great things over the years is because a lot of those things I reviewed last year or the year before or even earlier. So network attached storage is a great example. All the NAS devices that I use a WD MyCloud as well as a Synology drive. Both of those I reviewed in 2014, so they didn't make the cut for 2015. I wanted to keep this list fresh. So take a look and let me know what you think, and I'd love to hear your opinion too. So we've got some stuff to talk about in the news. We have the Oculus Rift becoming available for pre-order in 2 days from the time that I am shooting this, January 6th at 8 a.m. Pacific time. You can go and get yourself on the pre-order list. I do plan to order one of these things because My dream is that somebody makes the ultimate Star Wars X-Wing simulator for this thing. I think sit-down piloting or driving experiences are going to probably be the best use case for gaming on the Oculus Rift. The stand-up stuff is going to be a little bit harder, I think, and we'll see. I haven't really tried. I've actually not tried this at all. I've been purposely not trying it because I wanted to wait for the real one to come out, the final production version, to really get a feel for what the consumer experience is going to be. So I've got it, hopefully, on order when it comes out. I'm going to be hitting my refresh button frequently to get that going. You definitely need a fast PC. In fact, my Monster Gamer machine over there has got a GTX 970 graphics card on board. I think that is the minimum configuration. So hopefully that machine's fast enough to keep up with what Oculus wants us to have for a processor. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. Also wanted to let you know about one of my favorite channels, Classic Game Room. If you have never watched this channel and are into video games, especially retro games like me, this is an awesome channel to check out. The host, Mark, he announced actually that he was kind of shutting down a lot of his operation. He was doing this full time for a long time. He had a whole merchandise store. He had a number of people working for him. He had multiple channels from some of those staff members who were producing more content for him. And he's experiencing what all of us on YouTube are experiencing, which is a constant decline in CPM, or cost per thousand impressions, that we get as a revenue share. The revenue has been dropping pretty tremendously, actually, for a lot of creators. And he really bore the brunt of this and had to reformulate his entire business model. So he's kind of scaled everything back. He's coming back and doing the show as a hobby. But the good news is that he's not shutting the channel down. He's keeping it going. He's going to be continuing some of his great retro reviews. And what he's also about to do is launch a Patreon on Thursday, January 7th. So if you are a fan of Mark's, just wanted to help get the word out to everyone that you definitely should make a contribution to his channel. I plan to, just because I really enjoy his content. I don't even know him personally, but I really enjoy his work, and he was actually an inspiration for a lot of what you see here on this channel, at least as far as how to produce content and develop it efficiently enough to get it up quickly and searchable. And that was really a lot of what he kind of did, was what gave me a lot of ideas for this channel. So I really kind of feel indebted to him for that. And I'm going to try to reach out to him and see if I can get him on for an interview, because I think his story about how he started is really an interesting one. He's been doing this since 1999, so well before YouTube even existed. Mark was out there on the internet doing video game stuff, and he's a great guy. So definitely help him out if you can. So let's take a look at the 2015 year in review. I've got some stats for you. I'm always looking at my data, and I love like a milestone like the end of the year, so I can compare one year to the next. So that's what we're going to do right now. We added 43,723 new subscribers this year alone, which means 60% of the subscriber base are new this year. So that was a great growth period here for the channel, and I'm really grateful to all of you who did click that button and have stayed subscribed and have been engaging with me throughout the course of the year. Welcome, and I hope I'm doing enough here to keep you engaged and interested in the channel. Just a little glance here at the last 3 years. So in 2013, I added 2,700 subscribers. 2014 was when things really took off. We added 25,000 subscribers. And this year, of course, we're up to 43,000. This is the net. So, of course, you lose people. People cancel their accounts. Some people just unsubscribe. Some people don't like that I speak favorably about Apple products every once in a while or whatever. So you lose people along the way and you gain people back. So these are the net gains each year. And you can just see really on YouTube just how fast things kind of escalate over time. And subscriber growth is not the only growth we saw on the channel this year. Views are up substantially also. We had 12,725,670 views. And if you compare that to prior years, you can see it's a substantial uptick here. We only got 953,000 views for all of 2013. Now we're doing about that once a month. And I think a lot of that has to do with the growth of the subscriber base. It's actually thanks to you, because when I upload a video and people watch it for a certain length of time, usually YouTube looks for greater than 50% or around 50% or so. That will therefore increase your search ranking, both in YouTube search, but also Google search, and the chances of you showing up as a suggested video also. And all those things kind of lead themselves to having people find the channel. And to some degree, I'm kind of a commoditized entity here, because only 8% of my viewership actually comes from you, the subscribers. Most of the viewership actually comes from people doing a search. They're out looking to buy something. They're not really interested in tech at all so much. They're only really interested in what they're looking to purchase for their own use, and then that's pretty much the extent of our relationship. But it's working, it's growing traffic, and we're getting a lot of viewership in that way. And I think a lot of people who are into tech that are searching for a product find the channel and then see that there's a bunch of other stuff that is relevant to their interests and then subscribe. And I would bet you that probably 99% of the subscribers out there, yourself probably included, found me because you were looking for information on a product you were thinking about buying and found the channel and saw there was other things you liked and hit the subscribe button. So that's kind of the path here. But again, 8% is the extent of subscriber viewership. But this is double what it was last year. So I'm really pleased with the growth of this. We were only about 4% last year. And I've been really focused, especially over the last 6 months or so, of coming up with more and more subscriber engagement kind of activities. So we've done a few live streams. I've done some videos that are more geared towards the subscriber base. And those are the sorts of things I'll be continuing to do in the year ahead. They're more fun to do too because they're less of a mechanical function of reviewing a product. It's actually nice to have a conversation every once in a while. Even though I'm talking to a camera, I'm actually talking to all of you. And it's nice to be able to get that feedback from all of you too. So really cool to see the subscriber participation increasing. It's also interesting to see the differences between what subscribers watch versus non-subscribers. So these were the top videos that subscribers watched in 2015 and the number of views they got. So the HP Stream Mini, the Kangaroo Mini PC, the MyCloud. You can see a lot of PC type of devices are on the list here, and that is very indicative of what happens when I upload one of those reviews. I get a lot more views right off the bat if I've got a mini PC versus a cell phone or something like that. So definitely that's where your interest lies, especially if we look at some of this data here. And if we shift over to the non-subscribed videos, you can see a lot of these actually are things from a couple of years ago, which is one of the great things about kind of the status of the PC industry is that things don't always get upgraded every year, and if they do, it's not a huge upgrade. So these videos have life to them. So the Fire TV stick is a great example. They really only added the voice search to it this year. The overall product didn't change all that much. The PowerUp 3.0 paper airplane thing, that one just came out of nowhere. It was a Kickstarter that I had put some money into, and that one actually worked really well, and we're getting huge amount of traffic on that review as a result. So those are the sorts of things that differ between subscribers and non-subscribers. One of the interesting things was the Chromecast review. I don't usually do well with these really popular products on the channel because there's so many other reviewers that have more popular channels that kind of dominate the search position on that. But for whatever reason, I kind of hit the lottery on this Chromecast review, and this is now my top video if I look at my real-time numbers coming in, and that one has become a suggested YouTube video on many other popular Chromecast videos. So that one's done really well, and I wish I could figure out what the secret formula is for making this work every time, because I didn't do anything differently with that review. I just did it thoroughly, efficiently, and got it up very, very quickly after its release, and that all those things together seem to have hit the right buttons with the YouTube algorithm and got it to where it is. So that's one of the few newer videos that are on that list there, which is rather interesting when you look at the non-subscriber videos there. We had 86,846 likes compared to only 3,081 dislikes, so that's a good ratio. I thank you all for your thumbs up when you click on that button. It does mean a lot, actually, to see a good, healthy, positive ratio on the likes to dislikes, so that was very nice to see, so thank you for that. We also had 36,959 comments this year. I tried to respond. I don't think I got to all of them. I'm trying my best, and I still do spend a lot of time in the comment threads just talking to all of you, but a lot of comments. A lot of those are conversations that kind of go off between two different people sometimes, so I don't always see those in my control panel, but there is quite a lot of conversation going around the videos that we're putting up here on the channel. So 2016, what do I want to do for the coming year? Well, the big thing I want to do is get back down into the basement. I remember my old studio, actually a lot of you may not at this point, was down in my basement. I had a cool retro wall set up and everything, but the problem was it got too cold down there, especially around this time of the year here where I live in Connecticut. Winter takes its toll. The basement is really chilly, and it was very uncomfortable working in that environment, so I moved everything up here to my home office, but now I am like exploding at the gills in this room. There's just not enough room for all the stuff that I have in here, so I am getting the basement renovated. I've been talking about that for a while, but I took the first step. I closed up a leak that I had in the foundation. That is fixed. So now we're moving forward with the project, and I hope to have a couple of different little sets set up. So I'll have a sit-down area, I want to have a stand-up area, and I'm also going to do a green screen area too. And I'm going to probably call in a professional, not only do the work in the basement to finish it, but to also get my lighting right, because I'm still not where I want to be on lighting, and I hope to make it look a little bit better than it does now. So be on the lookout. I think what I'll do in the wrap-up videos as the project gets started is do like a little update as to where the basement is at. And if you have ideas for things you'd like to see as set pieces, let me know. I'm always eager for ideas on that. So this week I've got a whole bunch of stuff coming up. I've got a new Dell mini PC, under $200 mini PC with a different processor than we saw with last week's Acer that we looked at. So that'll be on the horizon. Got a couple of gaming keyboards coming in. I got a big gaming machine from Lenovo, a big desktop unit, so we'll be looking at that one. A lot of other stuff coming up too, so just stay tuned. Whatever, I'm just working as hard as I can, and as I get them up, they go up. Sometimes I take longer to review products like those two I did this weekend. I was not expecting to spend as much time on those products as I did, but I kept finding things that I felt were relevant to talk about, and I wanted to put them through further testing. So sometimes I can get a lot of stuff up, and sometimes not so much. So every week is a little different depending on energy and all that kind of stuff. And if you want to help the channel, you can. We've got a Patreon like all the cool kids do at Lon.TV/Patreon. We also have a fan funding link set up at Lon.TV, which will take you to my YouTube fan funding page. You can click on that support button there and make a one-time contribution. I also want to let you know I have an Amazon affiliate link. A lot of people have been asking about this. I do put affiliate links for every product that I review on the channel in the description, but I also have a link that if you go to it, it will bring you right in with my affiliate link, and anything you purchase on Amazon, a portion of that sale will go back towards helping the channel. And this doesn't raise your price or anything. It's a transparent thing, but it's kind of a commission for the channel, getting you directed into Amazon store. So we have affiliate links up there if you wish to help the channel that way. We always appreciate anything you can do, but again, contributing to the channel is not required. There's no paywall that will ever be set up on this channel, but every little bit does help, just at least in buying some of the things that I review here on the channel and then resell at a loss. So that is what we use a lot of those funds for. If you want to connect with the channel in other ways, you can do that too. We've got our email list at Lon.TV/email. Speaking of selling items, I've got a bunch of stuff that I've purchased, reviewed, and am ready to sell. So I think we'll be putting some things up in the next couple of days all at once. So I'll send out an email when those items are available, and you can check them out over there. Probably will be having the OnePlus X, a HP Stream 11, a bunch of other stuff too that I have to get out of this house before my wife kills me. So be on the lookout for that on the email list. We've got the Facebook page at Lon.TV/Facebook. We hit the 1,000 like mark, and I went to get my page verified, and Facebook sent back a nasty note saying that my name of my page is too long. What the heck is wrong with these people? That's the name of the show. They said they don't allow descriptive titles, which I can't imagine what the heck that means, but apparently Lon Reviews Tech, which is the name of the show, is a violation of whatever Facebook's policy is towards that. So I'm communicating with a brick wall on Facebook right now. Hope to have that resolved soon. They are just horrible to work with as an independent creator. And this is just one of many issues that a lot of us YouTubers deal with on a regular basis. And we're trying to become part of their ecosystem, and they're saying no. It's driving me nuts. So we're working on that part. Hopefully we'll get that resolved soon. We've got the forums at Lon.TV/forums too, so you can communicate there. And the BBS that I talked about last week at Lon.TV/BBS. So that will do it for this week's wrap up. Happy 2016. Thank you all so much for everything you've done for the channel in 2015, especially the patrons who you'll see at the end of this video, but also everyone who watched the video, liked the video, subscribed to the channel. Any kind of interaction is a good thing for us, and I really appreciate everybody who's part of this community that is growing by leaps and bounds. So thank you all, and I'm looking forward to the year to come. This is Lon.TV, and thanks for watching. This channel is brought to you by the generosity of my Patreon supporters. If you find the channel helpful, you too can contribute for as little as $1 a month. Visit Lon.TV/Patreon to learn more.